Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on, YouTube? Diggy546. The Giants proved that they're not the worst team in the NFL, at least this week. They're not the worst offense in the NFL. Maybe they are, but today they proved that they're not the worst offense in the league against the other worst offense in the league, the Patriots. All I can say is this game was a complete snoozer. I can barely remember much of what happened this game besides Jalen Hyatt finally had a 100-yard game. Still couldn't get in the end zone because guys can't hit him in stride. But finally had a 100-yard game on, 6 targets, 5 catches, 109 yards. Real good game from Jalen Hyatt. Darius Slayton fought through that stinger injury I think he had and made a couple nice catches. I think he had 3 targets, 2 catches for 16 yards. So shout out to Darius for fighting through. Wan'Dale Robinson continues to catch these short passes and had a drop today, and a fumble, by the way, which probably puts us at probably like 14 points today. But anyway, Wan'Dale continues to catch these short passes and get some yak after. So I'm excited to see Wan'Dale Robinson with a better quarterback and when this offense is really open. Saquon Barkley with his quietest game in a while. So total, Saquon had 52 yards total today. So quietest game for Saquon. I had an underdog. I picked him to go higher than 73 yards today, and he couldn't do it. So that's kind of unfortunate for me, but quiet game for Saquon today. But nonetheless, when he touched the ball, he kind of was impactful. Looking at the rest of what happened today, McKinney had 10 tackles, an interception, 2 pass deflections. Adoree had a pass deflection. Kayvon had a pass deflection. Bobby Okereke had 2. He had an interception. He almost returned for a touchdown. He also had, as they're showing some of these highlights from the Texans game, but a ton of guys just made plays today. Isaiah Simmons was the one that applied that pressure for Bobby Okereke to catch that interception. And Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones were just horrible today. It's just that simple. They were just bad. And then I'll just go back to the whole conversation on tanking, folks. The Giants now have won 4 games. So we can possibly be picking as probably as low as 8 or 9 this year because it's possible we beat one of these teams this year. I think we played the Packers, we played the Saints, and then we played the Eagles twice. So it's possible we win 1 or 2 more games. So we could possibly be a team that picks outside of the top 8. So that could be very very difficult for us. But again, I mean, we have these 2 second-round picks this year, so we can do some moving around if we need to. But it's different getting a team to move from 3 to 6 or 3 to 8. And then moving to 3 to 11 or 12. So we may have to do a trade down to 8 and then a trade down to 3 or something like that if we want to move up for a quarterback. The first pick is off the table at this point. First pick's off the table. Second pick is probably off the table too, unless a lot of these teams win games. So we're looking at best, the third pick in the draft. Realistically, I'm thinking we pick around 6 or 7 this year. And a lot of people are going to be really upset about that. A lot of people are going to be really upset that we had a shot. Like, teams are going out there and drawing up plays and trying to execute to lose games. We had a shot at winning the first or second overall pick, as people probably are feeling. We had a shot at getting that first or second overall pick if we just lost out. If Tommy DeVito was the horrible player that he was and his first or second time appearing. And he's just been too solid. The defense has been too solid. And we just haven't been able to be that bad. So we're not picking first or second. And it's just that simple. I mean, what do? Again, I'll go down the list of players. Isaiah Simmons. Do you think Isaiah Simmons is gonna play bad and put that on tape? When he's trying to get paid, he's trying to feed his family. Do you think that Xavier McKinney, who's trying to get a big deal as a safety, you think that he's going to go out there and lose on purpose? Do you think that that a guy like Tyree Phillips is going to not block on purpose, then he doesn't have a deal next year? Do you think that Brian Dable, who's seen the past two coaches get fired in their second year, you think Brian Dable is just going to lose out and just call bad plays on purpose? And not that he's calling plays, but you think he's gonna throw games? Do you think that Tommy DeVito? First off, if you're Tommy DeVito, fans are like, blah, blah, blah. We know that Tommy DeVito isn't going to be the quarterback next year as far as the starting quarterback. We know that. We know he's probably never going to be a starting quarterback week one of an NFL season. So do you really believe, folks, do you think that Tommy DeVito, who's from Jersey, who grew up a Giants fan, I'm assuming he grew up as a Giants fan, maybe he didn't, but you really think that him, who grew up as a Giants fan, who I'm assuming that, but whatever, he grew up in New Jersey and watched the Giants on TV every week. Do you really believe that this guy gets a chance to be the starting quarterback the rest of the season for this team? And he's going to go out there and say, I'm going to throw some interceptions. I'm going to fumble the ball on purpose. I'm going to not make plays because I would rather next year be jobless, not be on an NFL team, and not have a chance to be a backup anywhere. I would rather do that than have a shot to possibly fool a team. And this is really low. This is really unlikely. Possibly fool a team into making me their starter next year, which he probably believes because he's self-confident. He said he's a professional player. Possibly be a team starter next year, or more realistically, be a team's backup next year, or be the Giants' backup and get a nice deal as a backup quarterback. So why in the world would Tommy DeVito play badly on purpose? That makes no sense. Think about what you're saying before you say it. Why would these players play badly on purpose when the only thing that they're going to gain from this is making less money? Being out of the league, not being a starter. That's the only thing they can gain from doing it, because there's not guarantees that they'll be on this team next year. There's not guarantees that they'll be in the league next year. And why would we go out there and why would players go out there and throw games? So you're going to get what your team is. If your team is the worst team in the league, you're going to get the first pick. The Panthers are doing that at a high level. They're the worst team. The Patriots are one of the worst teams. They're doing it at a high level. If you're not the worst team in the league, you're just the bottom third worst in the team. It just is what it is. That's what you are. You're probably, out of the 32 teams, you're probably the 27th worst team. Or maybe you're the 29th. But that doesn't guarantee you the first or second pick. You're not entitled to the first or second pick unless you're the first or second worst team in the league. And if the Giants are winning games, they're not the worst or second worst team in the league. Now, again, looking at Jaden Daniels, who's been lighting the league on fire, lighting college football on fire. The guy has 50 total touchdowns and 4,900 yards, and the season isn't over yet. Over 1,100 rushing yards, 3,800 passing yards, 40 passing touchdowns, 10 rushing touchdowns. The dude is having a historically great season. The only reason that we're not looking at it with more amazement is because Joe Burrow had a season just like this a couple of years ago. And looking at Malik Neighbors, is he Jamar Chase? No. Looking at Brian Thomas, is he Justin Jefferson? No. So just think about this, folks. Just think about this, folks. Jaden Daniels in this offense, I feel like Jaden Daniels could be a good player, a great player in this offense. If Tommy DeVito looks like how he's looked, where he's got 7 touchdowns and 3 starts, imagine what Jaden Daniels could look like. And Jaden Daniels, maybe he goes 3rd overall, maybe he goes 4th or 5th. He's not making it outside of the top 10 now. He's just not. So if he does that, do you really think that even if the Giants are picking 10th, that they can't maneuver up to the 3rd or 4th pick? I think they can. They have the resources. They have the picks. I think they very much can move up, and I think they will move up if they want a quarterback this year. Now, I want a quarterback. All Giants fans pretty much want a quarterback this year, But if they want to be stingy and not take one, people are going to be very upset. So you got Jaden Daniels, you got Penix, you got JJ McCarthy, you even got Bo Nix, even though I'm not a fan at all. But you got a ton of options at quarterback this year. And if they don't take one, they're going to lose a lot of fans. And when I say lose fans, I'm saying guys are just not going to tune in. People aren't going to tune in to watch a guy try to break out in year 6. When we saw a guy put up 7 touchdowns who's probably going to have more than 12 this year. DeVito will probably have more than 12 touchdowns this year, which is something that Daniel Jones put up in 14 games or 15 games. Some seasons, he put up like 12 touchdowns. So we will have a shot to get a quarterback. It's just all about if this franchise wants to screw Giants fans over and not take one. So those are my thoughts. Nothing eventful this game. I mean, we put up 10 points. They put up 7. It just is what it is. They're better. They're a worse team than us. And it's not guaranteed that any of these quarterbacks are going to be better than Jaden Daniels. It's not guaranteed that Caleb Williams and Drake Maye are going to be better than Jaden Daniels. So let's just wait for this thing to play out. We could very well trade up for the first overall pick or the second overall, but let's wait for things to play out. And once those things play out, we'll be able to talk about what happened. But the draft is in April or in May. So let's watch it play out and then let's make our decision. So that's my take on it. You guys let me know what you're thinking. I know some people are furious and are breaking their furniture and everything that the Giants won another game. But me, I just want to see entertaining football, and I at least got to see that from Jalen Hyatt today.